Our colleagues at Politico reported that a U.S. envoy told Abrams that the U.S. would not consider withholding weapons to Israel for blocking food and medicine, that essentially the rules don't apply to Israel. Given
It's not essential. No, forget what the essentially. That's not at all an accurate representation of her comments.
That's not all. Source
not all
of
which were accurately presented in that article. I would say should note as always with these, you have what becomes a secondhand presentation put into an article. Not all of those comments were in any way accurate.
Sure, but was the basic characterization of her describing U.S.
I'm not going to speak to a private meeting, but we have always made clear that we are committed to the defense of Israel. We will continue to support the defense of Israel, but we also are going to enforce U.S. law.
So you will enforce U.S. law, including
if you look at the letter that the secretary,
aid.
if you look at the letter the secretary sent the other day, he said that there are a number of U.S. laws and policies that are implemented by Israel not taking steps to allow humanitarian assistance to get in, and we will enforce U.S. law. But we're going to we want to see Israel take increased steps. We've seen them take some increased steps over the last few days, but we need to see much more.
I guess there have been previous instances for which this threat has been sort of floated, whether it's in the wake of this 7 central kitchen workers that were killed, whether it was in before any sort of major operation in Rafah. Of course, the administration maintains that there wasn't a major operation, but nevertheless, there have been instances for which this threat has been offered, and yet there hasn't been any actualization of it.
So I know that your objective is to see the end of U.S. support to Israel. Our objective is to see Israel take steps to increase humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza. We have other steps as well, but that's relevant to the conversation we're having now. And so our engagement with them on this question has been to push them to take steps. And at times we've seen them take really important steps. When we had this last major engagement with them in April, we saw them take a number of steps to open new crossings, and it got trucks up to 300 to 400 in some days. Now we saw significant first stagnation and then backsliding over the last few months, which is why the secretary felt it was important to send that letter this Sunday.
To be clear,
Sean,
my
go
objective
ahead.
is not to. My objective is to ask about the U.S. enforcing
I understand,
laws.
Sean.
It's not to do
Can
that.
we actually go to Western Sahara?
No, wait a second. I thought I had dibs on
Well,
it.